galera, quem tá falando aqui é o Supertide, trazendo mais um vídeo pra vocês. E dessa vez, The Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. Nossa, eu sempre bugo nesse The Elder Scrolls. Não me enche o saco, cara. No vídeo passado, né, lutamos contra Alduin, ganhamos dele, né, e a mocinha fugiu, né. Nisso, descobrimos também o Shout para trazer os dragões ao chão. E descobrimos que aqui em Dragon's Reach, né, que é em Winterhall, acho que é Winterhold, não sei falar. Os aqui prendiam dragões, né? Então a gente vai pedir pro Yar, né, daqui, esse lugar emprestado pra gente pegar um dragão para... Você falou alguma coisa pra mim, mano? Para a gente poder, né, pegar um dragão e fazer ele vir pro nosso lado, trair Alduin, né? Porque Alduin levou um pau pra nós.
What is it that you need? I must have misheard you. I thought you asked me to help you trap a dragon in my palace. Of course. You already saved Whiterun from that dragon. I owe you a great deal. But I don't understand. Why let a dragon into the heart of my city when we've been working so hard to keep them out? Alduin, the World Eater himself. But how can we fight him? Doesn't his return mean it's the end times? I didn't say anything about giving up. Now what's this nonsense about trapping a dragon in my palace? I want to help you, Dragonborn, and I will, but I need your help first. Ulfric and General Tullius are both just waiting for me to make a wrong move. Do you think they will sit idle while the dragon is slaughtering my men and burning my city? No. I can't risk weakening the city while we are under the threat of enemy attack. I'm sorry. Then I would be glad to help you with your mad dragon-trapping scheme, but getting both sides to agree to a truce will be difficult at this point. The bitterness has gone too deep. Maybe. What of the Greybeards? They are respected by all Nords. High Hrothgar is neutral territory. If the Greybeards were willing to host a peace council, then maybe Ulfric and Tullius would have to listen. Aye, Dragonborn. Maybe you can stop the dragons and this war into the bargain. My men will be ready when you are, Dragonborn. You have a truce to arrange first, eh? According to legend, although I never thought to put the tale to the test, Jarl Olaf One-Eye it was, who later became High King. They say he shouted it into submission in single combat atop Mount Anthor, and brought it back to Whiterun. Numenex was the dragon's name. That's his skull decorating the main hall. No doubt he thought it was the only way to make his point. And also because he knew he could. If it's the war you're referring to, I'm on the side of Whiterun. No doubt General Tullius and his friends in the Empire will tell you that I owe them my loyalty. And perhaps I do. Ulfric Stormcloak would say that I owe my allegiance to the Nord people as they fight for Skyrim's independence. Perhaps this is also true. The day might come when I am forced to draw my sword for one side or the other. But that day has not come yet. With good planning and constant vigilance, Even now, my court wizard, Farengar, continues his research into ways we might drive back these terrors. We must also have ample reserves of water to combat the fires that will surely spread after an attack. But our greatest weapon? Courage. For if we cannot kill the beast, we must at least have the tenacity to drive it back. Until brave heroes step forward to destroy these monsters, that is the best we can do. Now, if you don't mind...
Beleza, galera. Então a gente vai ter que conversar, parece, com os Bárbaros Cinzentos para a gente conseguir fazer uma trégua entre os dois lados, o Império e o Stormcloak. Então eu já volto, né? Vamos ver para onde a gente tem que ir. E era aqui mesmo, galera. A gente tem que vir para os Bárbaros Cinzentos. Então vamos conversar aqui com o líder deles.
Alduin, we heard the Dragonren shout from here. You defeated him? I feared as much. I thought it was him we saw flying east after your battle. We are not warriors. What is overlooked in the Dragonborn is not permitted to any other followers of the Way of the Voice. You misunderstand our authority. The Greybeards have never involved themselves in political affairs. I see. The dragon will lead you to Alduin, but without the Jarl's help. Paarthurnax has made the decision to help you. This is the road we have to walk. Even the Greybeards must bend to the winds of change, it seems. So be it. Tell Ulfric and General Tullius that the Greybeards wish to speak to them. We will see if they still remember us. Deliver the message to the warring parties. If they will listen, I will do what I can to bring them to terms. The old tales say that he can travel into Sovngarde to devour the souls of the dead. You must find out how he does this before he regains his strength and returns. We study the way of the voice according to the teachings of our founder, Jürgen Windcaller. Very few are permitted to study with us here at High Hrothgar. But in your case, Dragonborn, it is a privilege to guide you towards mastery of your voice. Their voices are too powerful for anyone not trained in the way to withstand. Even a whisper could kill you. The voice was a gift of the goddess Kinnereth at the dawn of time. She gave mortals the ability to speak as dragons do. Although this gift has often been misused, the only true use of the voice is for the worship and glory of the gods. True mastery of the voice can only be achieved when your inner spirit is in harmony with your outward actions. In the contemplation of the sky, Kinnereth's domain, and the practice of the voice, we strive to achieve this balance.
Beleza, então vamos conversar com os dois lados agora, parece. Beleza, galera, chegamos aqui no Império Castelo Sombrio, eu acho que é esse.
He'd be insane to try. He doesn't have the men.
That's not what my scouts report, sir. Every day more join his cause. Riften, Dawnstar, and Winterhold support him.
It's not a cause. It's a rebellion.
Call it whatever you like, General. The man's going to try to take Whiterun.
Jarl Balgruuf.
Balgruuf refuses the Legion's right to garrison troops in his city. On the other hand, he also refuses to acknowledge Ulfric's claim.
Well, if he wants to stand outside the protection of the Empire, fine. Let Ulfric pillage his city.
General.
You people and your damn Jarls.
Sir, you can't force a Nord to accept help he hasn't asked for.
If Ulfric's making a move for Whiterun, then we need to be there to stop him. Draft another letter with the usual platitudes, but this time share some of your intelligence regarding Ulfric's plans. Embellish if you have to. We'll let it seem like it's his idea.
Yes, sir.
You Nords and your bloody sense of honor.
Sir.
Beleza.
Are my men now giving free rein to anyone who wanders into the castle? Do you have some reason to be here, citizen?
Caralho, já conheço ele? Acredito que já conhecia. Estava em Helgen.
Right, Helgen. One of the prisoners.
Ah, caralho, mano. Eu ajudaria Hounds a escapar. Ele disse que tinha um documento para mim. Eu estava livre em lutar contra o Império. Nossa, como assim? Mano, eu tô com medo de, tipo assim, eu acabar entrando pro Império aqui, tá ligado? E eu não salvei, então, né? Ajudarei o animal a escapar. Eu estava livre, eu iria a outro lugar, mas vim lutar contra o Império. Não, esse que...
Hadvar's alive. I hope that's true. He's a damn good soldier. But he hasn't reported in yet, so he can't exactly confirm your story. In the meantime, why don't you have a chat with Legate Ricka? I suspect we might have use for someone resourceful like you. Not many survived Helgen. Besides, I'm sure your being imprisoned was all a terrible misunderstanding.
Ah lá, acabou a conversa.
Speak with Legate Ricka.
Eu tenho uma mensagem sobre Barbas Cinzentas, como vai a guerra, o que é necessário para terminar a guerra, o que a Legião Imperial está fazendo em Skyrim. Você sempre viveu em Skyrim, então isso aqui, galera, eu vou conversar na campanha do Império, tá? Então...
The Greybeards. What do those old hermits want with me? Why, there's nothing to discuss as long as that traitor Ulfric is in arms against his rightful emperor. They are getting to be a problem, but I wasn't sent to Skyrim to fight dragons. My job is to quell this rebellion, and I intend to do just that, dragons or no dragons. You may have a point. It's getting difficult to even move troops around without attracting a dragon attack. By all accounts, the Stormcloaks are suffering just as badly. Even Ulfric might see the sense of a truce under these conditions. Yes, fine. I'll come to this Greybeard Council. For all the good it will do.
Beleza, falamos com um. Ó, eu quero mostrar o mapa aqui de Skyrim, ó. Vocês verem todo esse território aqui, ó. Daquela prisãozinha que a gente foi preso. A cidade do cervo, do bode. Várias torres assim, ó, vocês estão vendo? Império Imperial. Agora, o Stormcloaks, eles são, né? Nossa, não dá pra ver, cara, a cor da bandeirinha. Aqui, agora dá pra ver um pouquinho melhor, ó. Agora, ali puxando pra cá, né, ó, que aqui é Riften, o urso, os magos, a Shuriken, tá ligado? Já é ele. Agora, tipo assim, eles estão querendo a cidade do cavalo, entendeu? Agora sim eu vou lá pra dos Stormcloaks. Beleza, galera, chegamos aqui.
I do the cooking and cleaning around
The
the
Empire is
house.
putting a great deal of pressure on Whiterun.
And what would you have me do?
If he's not with us, he's against us.
Não tem mais fala?
He knows that. They all know that.
How long are you going to wait?
You think I need to send Bolgraf a stronger message?
If by message you mean shoving a sword through his gullet.
Taking his city and leaving him in disgrace would make a more powerful statement, don't you think?
So we're ready to start this war in earnest then?
Soon.
I still say you should take them all out like you did dead King Torrig.
Torrig was merely a message to the other Jarls. Whoever we replace them with will need the support of our armies.
We're ready when you are.
Things hinge on Whiterun. If we can take the city without bloodshed, all the better. But if not...
The people are behind you.
Many, I fear, still need convincing.
Then let them die with their false kings.
We've been soldiers a long time. We know the price of freedom. But people are still weighing things in their hearts.
What's left of Skyrim to wager?
They have families to think of.
How will their sons and daughters follow your banner? We are their families.
Well put, friend. Tell me, Galmar, why do you fight for me?
I'd follow you into the depths of oblivion. You know that.
Yes, but why do you fight? If not for me, what then?
I'll die before elves dictate the fates of men. Are we not one in this?
I fight for the men I've held in my arms, dying on foreign soil. I fight for their wives and children whose names I heard whispered in their last breath. I fight for we few who did come home, only to find our country full of strangers wearing familiar faces. I fight for my people, impoverished to pay the debts of an empire too weak to rule them, yet brands them criminals for wanting to rule themselves. I fight so that all the fighting I've already done hasn't been for nothing. I fight because I must.
Your words give voice to what we all feel, Ulfric. And that's why you will be High King. But the day words are enough will be the day when soldiers like us are no longer needed.
I would gladly retire from the world, were such a day to dawn.
Aye, but in the meantime, we have a war to plan.
Beleza, agora acabou.
Speak with Galmar. He'll size you up and see where we can best use your talents.
Ai, que chato ele. Eu achei que deve ter... Nossa, nós estávamos juntos na carroça. Nem teve. Lembrando que isso aqui trarei na campanha do Stormcloaks, tá? No segundo personagem, que é o personagem Scott, que é o meu lobisomem. Então, né? Mas no próximo, então. É esse aqui, ó.
It's about time they turned their gaze from the heavens back to our bleeding homeland. What do they want? I have the greatest respect for the Greybeards, of course, and the dragon attacks are a growing plague. But the political situation is still delicate. Not all the Jarls are fully committed to supporting me as High King. I can't afford to appear weak. I can't agree to this unless Tullius himself will be there. Alduin, the World Eater of song and legend. If that's true, well, it changes the situation, doesn't it? Even Tullius may be forced to talk sense in the face of such a threat. Yes, I'll give Tullius one more chance to quit Skyrim with his tail between his legs.
Your words give voice.
Beleza, galera. Aqui eu acho que dá pra ver melhor, ó. Tá vendo? Vermelho, azul. Hã? Ó. Dá pra ver muito melhor aqui, ó. Cala a boca, cara. Vamos aí. Vou voltar lá pra algum lugar aí.
So, Arngeir, is it? You know why we're here. Are you going to let us in or not?
You are not invited here. You are not welcome here.
We have as much right to be at this council as all of you. More, actually, since we were the ones that put the Dragonborn on this path.
Were you? The hubris of the Blades truly knows no bounds.
Delphine, we're not here to rehearse old grudges. The matter at hand is urgent. Alduin must be stopped. You wouldn't have called this council if you didn't agree. We know a great deal about the situation and the threat that Alduin poses to us all. You need us here if you want this council to succeed.
Very well. You may enter.
Mano, a Delphine é nojenta, cara. Meu Deus.
So, you've done it. Men of violence are gathered here, in these halls whose very stones are dedicated to peace. I should not have agreed to host this council. The Greybeards have no business involving ourselves in such matters.
Não se preocupe, vou fazê-los aceitar a paz. Essa foi a única maneira de ter ajuda.
Peace? I doubt it. They may put their weapons down for a moment, but only to gather strength for the next bloodletting. They are not yet tired of war. Far from it. You know the ancient Nord word for war? Season unending. And so it has proved. But regrets are pointless. Here we are. Take your seat at the council table, and let us see what wisdom we can find among these warriors of Skyrim. We all wait upon you, Dragonborn.
Beleza, galera, vamos lá.
Take your seat, and we can...
Então, ó, temos aqui, né? Imperial. Essa puta de... Não sei por que isso aqui tá aqui, mano. Blades, os Stormcloaks, um Barba Cinzenta e eu, né? Brabo com a roupa de Imperial. Quer dizer, Imperial não, de Imperador. Vamos lá, eu matei o marido dela.
Now that everyone is here, please take your seats so we can begin. I hope that we have all come here in the spirit
you
of...
insult us by bringing her to this negotiation? You're Chief Talos Hunter?
That didn't take long.
Here, here.
I have every right to be in this negotiation. I need to ensure that nothing is agreed to here that violates the terms of the White Gold Concordat.
She's part of the Imperial delegation. You can't dictate who I bring to this council.
Please. If we have to negotiate the terms of the negotiation, we will never get anywhere. Perhaps this would be a good time to get the Dragonborn's input on this matter.
By Izmir's beard, the nerve of those Imperial bastards, eh? To think that I would sit down at the same table with that. Thalmor bitch. Either she walks or I do. I'm glad we agree on this.
Very well, Ulfric. Enjoy your petty victory. The Thalmor will treat with whatever government rules Skyrim. We would not think of interfering in your civil war.
Ha! Skyrim will never bow to the Thalmor. Unlike your Imperial friends here.
You're lucky I respect the Greybeard's counsel, Galmar.
Legate, we represent the Emperor here.
Sorry, sir. It won't happen again.
Now that that's settled,
A Lídia bugando, né?
proceed.
I have something to say first.
Here we go.
The only reason I agreed to attend this council was to deal with the Dragon Menace. There's nothing else to talk about. Unless the Empire is finally ready to renounce its unjust claim to rule over the free people of Skyrim.
I knew he wouldn't
We're
be able
here
to
to
resist.
arrange a temporary truce to allow the Dragonborn here to deal with the dragons, nothing more. I consider even talking to the Empire a generous gesture.
Are you done? Did you just come here to make speeches, or can we get down to business?
Yes, let's get this over with.
Are we ready to proceed? Jarl Ulfric. General Tullius. This council is unprecedented. We are gathered here at the Dragonborn's request. I ask that you all respect the spirit of High Hrothgar, and do your best to begin the process of achieving a lasting peace in Skyrim. Who would like to open the negotiations?
Yes, let's get down to it. We want control of Markarth. That's our price for agreeing to a truce.
So that's why you're here, Ulfric? You dare to insult the Greybeards by using this council to advance your own position?
Jarl Elisif.
General,
I'll
this is
handle
outrageous. You can't be taking this demand seriously. I thought we were here to discuss a truce.
Elisif, I said I'd handle it. Ulfric, you can't seriously expect us to give up Markarth at the negotiating table. You hope to gain in council what you've been unable to take in battle, is that it?
I'm sure Jarl Ulfric does not expect something for nothing.
Yes, that'd be entirely
What would the
out of
Empire
character.
want in return?
Wait, General, you don't intend to just hand over Markarth to that traitor?
This is how the Empire repays us for our loyalty?
Enough. First, let's be clear. This council wasn't my idea. I think it's a waste of time. You are a traitor to the Empire, and deserve a traitor's death. But I at least will negotiate in good faith. Since we're all here at your request, I'd like to hear what you think Markarth is worth.
Tá o Rift. Não, se parece uma troca. Não, que tá o Rift.
The rift would help secure our communications with Cyrodiil, and threaten Ulfric's southern flank.
The Dragonborn has spoken, Tullius. Markarth will be ours. Now we'll see if there's anything behind your talk of good faith.
You disappoint me, Dragonborn. I accepted your invitation on trust in your good name. But it seems you intend to favor Ulfric. I can see now that this is not a negotiation at all. I know you, Ulfric. If I hand over Markarth, you'll be ready with a new demand. You'll never defeat the Empire, and you know it. But you're willing to sacrifice thousands for your own selfish ambition. Soon enough, I'll have you back under the headsman's axe, and this time there won't be any dragon to save you.
As always, the Empire's fine words are worth nothing.
Stop! Are you so blind to our danger that you can't see past your petty disagreements? Here you sit arguing about nothing, while the fate of the land hangs in the balance.
Is he with you, Delphine? If so, I advise you to tell him to watch his tongue.
He is with me. And I advise you
Nem sei porque você tá aqui, mas beleza.
say before you do anything rash.
Don't you understand the danger? Don't you understand what the return of the dragons means? Alduin has returned, the World Eater. Even now he devours the souls of your fallen comrades. He grows more powerful with every soldier slain in your pointless war. Can you not put aside your hatred for even one moment in the face of this mortal danger?
I don't know about the end of the world, but this dragon situation has gotten out of hand. If this truce will help the Dragonborn here put an end to that menace, we both gain. Remember that, Ulfric. Now, back to the matter at hand. You know as well as I do that we can't hand over Markarth on these terms.
Show us bones. Where will these demands end?
Out with it, then.
We want compensation for the massacre at Karthwasten.
You slaughtered the very people you claim to be fighting for. True sons of Skyrim would never do such things.
Damned Imperial lies. My men would never stoop to such methods, even in retaliation.
This
for
is
your
our
butchery
homeland,
at-
Tullius. All the blood spilled in this war is on your head.
So, Dragonborn, what do you say?
Ulf deve compreendê-lo por sei lá o que. Quem vai dizer que aconteceu em. Ulf deve compensá-lo por. Quem vai dizer o que aconteceu aqui.
I should have known better than to expect you to give us a fair hearing.
Ah, mano, eu falei
The
errado.
Empire takes the blame for the crimes of others. You know I can't agree to these terms. The Emperor would repudiate this treaty and I would be recalled.
Eu queria saber o que tinha acontecido, não que eu queria acusar o Império.
I'm listening.
We want Kralder removed as Jarl of Winterhold and an Imperial candidate put in his place.
What next, Tullius? Shall I just hand over all of Skyrim?
I guess I have no choice but to let the Dragonborn decide, although I'm starting to doubt your fairness. So, Dragonborn, what do you say?
Eu concordo com Ulf que deveria ceder Winterhold. Ulf não precisa desistir mais território. Claro, mano.
I knew I could count on you. Don't hand me a mug of of sheep's piss and call it Colovian bread.
Mano, tipo assim, o de baixo é o, tipo, pra fazer briga, o de cima pra ser de boa.
Let's hear it.
É sempre duas palavras, tá ligado? Eu falei de baixo com o de trouxa, tá ligado?
So be it. The Empire at least puts the greater good above our own interests.
It seems we may have an agreement. Jarl Ulfric, General Tullius, these are the terms currently on the table. Markarth will be handed over to Ulfric's forces, Jarl Igmund will step down, and Thongvor Silverblood will become the Jarl of Markarth. The Stormcloaks will withdraw from the rift, allowing Imperial troops unhindered access. Jarl Leila Lawgiver will step down, and Maven Blackbriar will become the Jarl of Riften. Winterhold will be turned over to the Empire, although the college itself will retain its traditional neutrality. You both agree to this?
The Sons of Skyrim will live up to their agreements, as long as the Imperials hold to theirs. What about you, Elisif? Are these terms to your liking? Speak up! I'm sure General Tullius is waiting to do your bidding.
I have nothing to say to that murderer. General, you've proven yourself a good friend to Skyrim. I continue to trust that you will do your utmost to safeguard our interests.
Thank you, Jarl Elisif. I appreciate your loyalty. These terms blatantly favor the rebels. Everyone here knows that. But the Empire will accept them until the Dragon Menace is dealt with. After that, Ulfric, there will be a reckoning. Count on it.
Come on, Delmar. We have a lot of work to do.
Giving up Markarth is a heavy price for this truce, Dragonborn. I hope it was worth it.
Jarl Balgruuf, I assume you are familiar with the Dragonborn's plan?
Yes, I'm ready to do my part. Just say the word, and my men will help you spring this trap.
But the difficulty remains how to lure a dragon to Dragon's Reach at all.
Well, that's an excellent question. You haven't overlooked that little detail, have you?
Ah, I believe I can be of help here. I anticipated the problem. While you were arranging this meeting, I was busy in the library of Skyhaven Temp, an unguessed trove of lost lore. But the important thing is that the Blades recorded many of the names of dragons they slew. Cross-referencing this with Delphine's map of dragon burial sites, I believe I've identified one of the dragons that Alduin has raised up. Don't you see? The names of dragons are always 3 words of power, shouts. By calling the dragon with a voice, he will hear you wherever he might be. He's not compelled to, but dragons are prideful by nature and loath to refuse a challenge. Your voice in particular is likely to intrigue this dragon after your victory over Alduin. I think it's very likely that he will be unable to resist investigating your call. Ah, indeed. I'm no master of the voice, like these worthy gentlemen, but it is written here in this scroll. Oda Ving, winged snow hunter, as I read it.
I hope this truth gives you what you need. It won't last. There's one more thing. We know
O que ela falou?
That's fine. We needed his help. Now we don't. And it's long past time for him to pay for his crimes. And he's not just any dragon. He was the right hand of Alduin. He committed atrocities so infamous they are still remembered thousands of years later. He needs to die. He deserves to die. And it falls to you to kill him. Until he's dead. Well, I'm sorry, but we would dishonor our oaths as blades if we continue to help you.
Mano, eu acabei de iniciar a pior quest do jogo. Ai, que droga.
Make Make your choice, Dragonborn. You're either with us or against us.
Contra vocês, com certeza.
Here's the big picture. He helped Alduin enslave our ancestors. He may have betrayed Alduin in the end, but that makes him worse, not better. We can't afford to give Parthenax the opportunity to betray us in turn and return to his old master.
Cara, Delfine, vai a merda, tá? Vai bem a merda. Quero, na moral, que você se exploda, sua puta. Então, gente. Eu acabei iniciando a pior missão do jogo, que é Parthenax. Parthenax é mate Parthenax. Por que você quer matar Parthenax? Por simples idiotice, tá ligado? Porque a Delfine é uma mulher escrota, que ela quer que os dragões se explodam, ela quer que todos os dragões sumam, sabe? Sendo que aquele negócio, existem pessoas ruins e existem dragões ruins, mas também existem pessoas boas e existem dragões bons, entendeu? É o que eu penso, e é aquilo, se não fosse o Parthenax, nós estaríamos mortos, a gente estaria escravizado pelos dragões até hoje. Se não fosse pelo Parthenax ter se virado contra o Alduin, ensinado os humanos a gritar, a usarem a voz, ia estar uma merda, a gente ia se fuder muito legal, entendeu? É o que eu penso, e a Delfine é escrota, sabe? Ela, tipo assim, ela simplesmente, ela não quer, tipo assim, saber sobre a história, ela não quer saber, ela quer simplesmente chegar e fazer o negócio, ela quer simplesmente chegar e matar o bagulho, ela quer acabar com o negócio sem saber o lado o lado da história, sabe? Tipo, uma folha ela só consegue ver, ela não vê uma folha, ela não quer ver nem ver outra, ela vê uma frase, tá ligado? Ela é escrota, essa mulher. E tipo, ela nem foi convidada pra vir aqui e ela tipo tava brigando com os Bragas Cinzentas pra colar num bagulho que nem foi convidada, mano. Tipo os Talmors não tem nada a ver, ele é uma expansão do Império, ok. Mas a gente não chamou expansão dos Stormcloaks, a gente chamou porra nenhuma, a gente chamou o Império, a rainha e o comandante, acabou, tá ligado? Por isso que eu mandei isso aí. Se eu pudesse mandar a Delfine embora, eu mandava ela embora. Nossa, mulher escrota. Agora, sei lá, eu não sei se tem como não pegar essa missão, mas acabei pegando sem querer, né? Mate Parthenax, isso nunca vai acontecer, tá? Isso nunca vai acontecer. Mais um erro que eu acho que a Bethesda fez, né? Que a Skyrim fez, foi que, tipo assim, a gente não pode falar com ela, tipo assim, a gente não quer matar ele, tá? Fuck você. Não tem isso. Achei isso muito escroto, não tem essa missão. Mas existe um mod que a gente consegue fazer isso com a Delfine. Se não me engano, o nome do mod é, sei lá o que, Parthenax. É só escrever Parthenax que vocês vão achar o mod. Você quase certeza disso, tá? Então, tipo assim, tipo assim, I'm asking her. Eu realmente gostaria de abaixar esse mod para, mano, tá ficando feio já, meu. Para resolver esse problema, né? Pra, tipo assim, mandar a Delfine a merda, entendeu? E fazer o que eu quero e, tipo, seguir a minha campanha de boa, tá ligado? E nem conversar mais com ela se possível, tá ligado? Agora, tipo assim, se vocês falarem assim, poxa, Léo, qual lado você prefere, Stormcloaks ou Império? Bem simples. Eu acho que, tipo assim, o Império, ele era uma potência, né? Daí eu conheço bem rasinho, tá? Daí o que aconteceu? Eles se juntaram aos Talmors e os Talmors começaram a fazer os nórdicos pararem de seguir os deuses deles, falando que os deuses deles não são bons, falando que os deuses deles são ruins e que eles não podem fazer isso. Beleza, é isso que eu conheço, tá, gente? Desculpa, mas é isso que eu conheço. E os nórdicos simplesmente chamou o dono daqui, sei lá, pro X1, matou o cara no grito, porque o Stormcloak, que é aquele cara que foi preso com a gente, que tava aqui, o Ulfra, que saiu no começo da reunião, quer dizer, no final da reunião, ele veio aqui para as Barbas Cinzentas, treinou, aprendeu uma palavra e no meio da briga deu um grito no cara e matou o cara, mas não matou o cara com o grito, né? Falam que matou o cara no grito, mas não matou o cara no grito, pelo que eu saiba. Ele usou o grito para desarmar o cara, não usar o desarme, mas para, tipo, desequilibrar o cara e matou o cara, né? E dizem que ele trapaceou, que ele matou o cara no grito e aquele negócio. Tá no jogo é pra ser usado, na minha opinião, né? E aquele negócio, só não... E também tem aquele negócio, só usa poderzinho quem não se garante na porrada, tá? É a minha opinião. Mas tá no jogo é pra usar, mas se o cara usou poderzinho, não se garante na porrada, tá ligado? Então, eu acho... E os Stormcloaks começaram a tipo, ir de frente com o Império pra eles poderem rezar, né? Sobre o deus dele, que é o Talos, né? O deus humano. Um herói que virou um deus, né? Então, eu acho muito errado o Império, tipo assim, são nórdicos, tá ligado? Abaixar a cabeça pra um povo que nem é daqui, da terra natal deles. Tipo assim, ó, abaixa a cabeça, vocês não vão seguir os deuses. E eles falam assim, não, beleza. Ó, lei do país aqui não pode rezar pro nosso deus. Acho isso super errado. Eu acho que, tipo assim, se eu desse uma estudada, eu iria pro lado dos Stormcloaks, porque eu acho isso muito filho da putagem, você pegar e falar assim, ó, essa borracha aqui, ó, ela é preta. Aí alguém chega e fala assim, não, essa borracha é branca. Daí fala assim, ó, todo mundo que acha que essa borracha é preta tem que morrer. É simples, entendeu? Daí todo mundo morre. Eu acho isso muito errado, tá? Eu prefiro Stormcloaks. Mas é isso aí, galera. Esse ficou o Conselho de Paz aí. No próximo episódio iremos caçar esse Oldavin aí, né? Então é isso, espero que vocês tenham gostado desse vídeo. Peço para vocês se inscreverem no canal, dar um joinha no vídeo, me sigam nas redes sociais e nas plataformas. Muito obrigado, até a próxima. Fui!